Hi, I'm Jamaal. Today I'm going to present to you the benefits of local sustainable food chain and explain why it is the best option of feeding America. This picture shows a fistulated cow while this picture shows chickens running free and eating grass. My question to you is, which of these food would you rather put in your body? You need to make a smart, informed choice about the food you eat. There are other food chains such as the industrial food chain, the industrial organic food chain, but neither of these appear to protect the environment, treat their animals with dignity and respect, nor provide healthy options for the consumers. These other food chain wastes fossil fuel in transporting their product and using toxic fertilizers and pesticides. They use antibiotics or do not allow their animals to roam free, fear sickness. Neither promote biodiversity. Additionally, these food chains do not have the consumer's health in mind. They are more interested in mass production in the cheapest way. They often use genetically modified corn, a food that is not natural to cows who are herbivores. I'd like for you to consider my proposal that local sustainable is best for feeding America. It is better for the environment, more humane for the human, and is the shortest, simplest, most natural process. First off, the negative impact on the environment of the industrial food chain is massive. According to Michael Pollan's research, this model uses toxic substances to help grow the grass, such as chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Also, these food chains do not maintain or conserve the soil because it is constantly used in breeding bacteria into the soil, which is then eaten by the cows. On the other hand, local sustainable food chain has very, very minimum amount of negative impacts on the environment and actually promotes using natural resources. This model maintains and conserves the soil. This is this is done by using natural fertilizers as well as rotating the pasture and allowing the grass to regrow and rejuvenate. According to Michael Pollan, he states almost all of the energy to make the food is used from the sun. There are no pesticides, no artificial fertilizer, no pollution, and no extra waste. Everything is recycled. This statement demonstrates how the environment is allowed to follow its natural order as much as possible, from the rotation of the pasture to the to the to the natural fertilizer to using the sun as energy. These factors support rather than harm the environment. Let's begin with how he or she runs a typical local sustainable farm. According to the local sustainable farmer Joel Salatin, he claims he is a grass farmer because his whole farm depends on grass. He doesn't depend on genetically modified corn. He wants to feed his animal more naturally. He does not use fertilizers with chemicals to help grow his grass. He uses natural resources such as the cows and chickens on his farm. In his opinion, the animals run the farm. He uses a rotation cycle that maintains the pasture. According to Michael Pollan, while the chickens are nibbling on the grass, they add a few thousand pounds of nitrogen to the pasture with their own droppings. After weeks of rest, the pasture will regrow and feed the cows again. Therefore, local sustainable farms benefits the environment. It's also sustainable because the animals naturally fertilize the soil and grass. Because of Joel's chickens, he does not have to treat his cattle with toxic chemicals to get rid of parasites. He stopped buying fertilizers and started composting. And all of this is powered by the sun. So there are no needs of fossil fuel and no needs of chemicals. On the website Food Economics, sources say that through careful, responsible management of livestock waste, sustainable farmers also protect humans from pathogens, toxins, and other hazardous pollutants. This evidence proves that local sustainable does the right thing to help the environment. Along these same lines, due to biodiversity, these type of farming does not need to use antibiotics on the animals, and this is quite beneficial to the consumer. One reason this works is because he is not breeding all one type of animal, and it allows him to take care of the sick animals easily. On the website Sustainable Table, it states that this is one of the rare times when antibiotics are used. But due to biodiversity, farmers do not have do not have to use antibiotics on a large scale. This is not practiced in the industrial organic farming, which is the reason they can't allow their animals to be truly free range. One virus would kill off the whole population. Biodiversity eliminates the risk. According to the USDA Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education Program at UC at Davis, diversification of the crops, including livestock, and cultural practice enhance the biologic economy stability of the farm. These more natural methods of the farming should be important and are beneficial to the consumer. On the local sustainable farm, consumers can come and choose their food. They get to see how their animals became their food and doing so witness the opposite of the industrial farming model. According to Joel Salatin, he does not need certain machinery that cleans his meat with chemicals because his meat is pretty free of bacteria. To prove it, he has his chickens tested by an independent lab. This test shows that polyphase hens has a much lower bacterial count than a supermarket chicken. This demonstrates that local sustainable is better for the consumers. They allow to see exactly where their food lived, what it ate, and how a natural environment it enjoyed. According to the website Polyface Farms, they promote the personal connection. Experience the satisfaction of knowing your food and your farmer. As you can see, local sustainable food chain is shorter, simpler, and more natural than other food chains. It supports the natural process of the environment by allowing the soil to regrow and rejuvenate. It promotes the health of the humans, allow them to be in natural habitats. The consumers feel better knowing their food is free of antibiotics and has been grass-fed and cage-free. The whole process is more humane, better for the environment, and better for the consumers. This is why this is a better option for feeding America. This is why we need to be more mindful of what we eat. This is why this type of farming is our future.